It's Hills from the Blue Flame Apothecary, and I am here to talk about light codes. I'm going to get the more salesy, admin-y stuff out of the way at the beginning here, because once the channel opens really wide, it can get a little bit hard for me to go back into that place. So the other day I recorded a frequency program. It's a workshop, masterclass that is called What the Hell Are Light Codes Anyways? It contains a presentation that's encoded with light, frequency, all channeled through. And then at the end, there is a light codes activation meditation. That's available on the website, and I'll put links below. Hi. And there's also a Faraday cage on this YouTube channel, activating your Faraday cage. And that one I highly recommend. It's this amazing protection meditation, and it's totally changed my whole way of interacting with the world since that came online for me. So I'm really excited to share that with everyone. And there's also the Blue Flame Apothecary members portal, which is a Patreon, and through that there's a couple of different levels that you can subscribe to become a member. And I share weekly oracle readings, and I share all of the frequency meditations that have come through and will continue to come through in that portal. I also share the light encoded and crystal gridded, specially attuned apothecary goodies. Like this month for the anchoring and accelerating members, I had created a specially attuned, I called it a blood tonic. It's a pink rosebud and hibiscus and matcha and honey shrub. There is also lots of teas, and there's some bath soaks and all sorts of different things. I can feel that the channel, it's like, let's talk about light codes. Nice. Ooh, dragon blood. Nice. I miss you too, Louise. It's so nice to be here. This is actually my first YouTube live. I've done a couple Instagram lives, and I've posted a bunch of videos. So this is really, really fun. What the hell are light codes anyways? If you're watching this, you've probably at least heard the term before, and it is it's hard to put into metaphysical terminology. But one of the ways that it's come through is if you go into quantum physics, you are beginning to understand that there is no solidity. There is no such thing as solid. So if you think about light as a wave, we now know it can also be a particle, and it can also be liquid. It is the only thing that exists in all forms. When you start to bring that into your your senses and start to feel into this idea that light is a wave, light is a particle, light is a liquid. It streams through everything. You can start to feel into how every single thing that you see, you touch, you experience in any way is actually light. The interaction of the protons and electrons and neutrons in our being is one of the ways that light communicates. It it is this way of helping us to remember the way that physics is experiencing light now. It is helping us to remember that there is no separation between anything. It's all just light bouncing off of one another. It's all just things bouncing off of one another. So when you think about and feel into light codes specifically, this is information that's being brought into your system so that you can remember what you had previously forgotten. Each one of us, when we incarnate back onto this plane, for the most part, there are exceptions, incarnates with a sort of we signed up for it amnesia. So we forget. And sometimes we remember and then we forget again, and then we remember and then we forget again, and then we remember and then we forget again. Psychedelics can do that. They can help you remember, and then you come off of the psychedelics and maybe you forget. That's definitely something that I've experienced. And then you can have what's called an awakening. And when you're having this awakening, it's this, the light is coming in so much that you can't actually, you don't have time to forget anymore. That's the good way to put it. You don't have time to forget anymore. There is a lot of new light. The Earth and the entire solar system has entered into a region of our galaxy called the Photon Belt, which means that we're being hit with light that is different. It's faster and it's brighter than anything any human being has ever experienced before, because our solar system passes through this particular place about every 250,000 years. I go into a lot more detail on that in the channeling, in the workshop masterclass. But it's important to understand that this is what's happening, because it's not something like, oh, I'm awakening, so I'm getting more light codes now. This is happening to every single being on this planet. It's happening to this planet. It's happening to all the planets in this solar system. It's happening to the sun. That's why you maybe are hearing a lot about more electromagnetic storms and things like that, because the sun is also being bombarded with this high frequency light. One of the ways that it's come in is these are information packets. It's like when you hear, oh, I received a download. It's this opening up. If you can think about your traditional chakrotic system, you open up your crown and you can receive. And if you're balanced, if your chakras are balanced, you can allow that which you're receiving through your crown to go all the way through your entire being and down and grid into the earth. So this is also true in the other direction. You can allow the light and the crystals and the core of the earth, the grid of the earth, to come up and connect in with cosmos. The part that doesn't get talked about very much, which it feels like this is some of the new that we are now blueprinted for, that maybe, the generation before us and even maybe some of our generation, and that a little further, anyone born before 2000, basically. Some of us have the blueprint within us, and pretty much anyone born after 2000 has the blueprint within, that the light comes from within as well. It's like the heart center is in direct communication with these light codes that are coming in and look from both directions, and it's sending this information out in both directions, in all directions, really. um, let me take a beat here. We have an event happening on the 12th, which is a an alignment of Jupiter and Neptune. One of the reasons that this, which only happens every 166 years in Pisces, is happening right now, is it is about awakening. It's a catalyst. And there's a lot of us on the planet right now who are also catalysts. This is what it means to be a light worker. There it is. That is also what it means when you have that blueprint. You're born with that blueprint of, you're going to remember that the light exists inside of you as well, and share that out. Many of us have lots of different things that we're here to do on this planet right now, as everything is shifting and changing. We're moving from one age to another. Um, there's lots of different ways that can be talked about. There's the more new age traditions. There's the more shamanic traditions. If you talk to any of the native cultures on any continent right now, they would tell you that we're in this place right now, which is why, yes, you don't need the help of plants anymore. And that was something that was that came through in the program. Was those were an amazing tool during a time before we were in the Photon Belt. But because we come into this place of this high frequency light, it really isn't, it's not necessary anymore. It's really interesting and really hard to describe without spending an hour and a half doing it, which is what I did with the frequency program. It is, let me take one more beat. It feels like the thing that would serve the most right now in this moment would be to allow the rest of this frequency transmission to be a meditation, to take a moment and breathe in and out through your heart with your eyes open or closed. Sometimes it's easier to breathe in and out of your heart with your eyes closed, though. While you're in your heart now, allow yourself to begin to notice an iridescent sort of shimmering light. It's golden and green and white. It's like the light reflecting off a lake, slightly ripply, or a piece of Labradorite. That shimmering. There is a term called Labradorescence. It is the name given to this blue and gold and white and green shimmery light that you see on a piece of Labradorite. Sometimes there's purple and pink. Feel into all of these different shades of light, all shimmering from deep within your heart and out, 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 out. Allow it to expand around all of the dimensions of your heart chakra, the space that contains your heart and all of the energetic centers connected there too. As you feel into all of this light, you can start to remember that this is your home. This is your map, and this is your blueprint. This is your truth and your true self. You contain all of the colors that have ever existed, because all of the colors that have ever existed are merely a refraction of light, as you too are a refraction of light. And as you begin to remember this and start to feel all of the joy and love held within this light that is you and that is every other being on this planet and is this planet and is everything that you can see, feel, touch, sense in any way, you are also blessed. And you can come back into your physical body and breathe in and out. And now as we take one more moment together. It feels, I'm getting a real sense that it would serve to just take a quick moment and talk about light body symptoms. These headaches, discombobulation, a sort of kinkiness in your joints, ringing ears, maybe a migraine. Super tired one minute and bouncing off the walls the next. These are all possible physical manifestations of all of this light that's coming in. And there was a piece of advice that I heard the other day that I thought was pretty brilliant. And it was stop trying to wonder and figure out what is wrong. Stop trying to fight it. Allow the light to move through you with as much ease and grace as you can. And it feels to me that the more that we remember that we are actually the light, that gets a whole lot easier. It's been really wonderful being with everyone who was able to be here live or be here whenever, however you're viewing this. And I will put links to the portal and links to the frequency program and all of the things down below. And I just am so grateful to be able to share these channelings with you when they come through. Thank you.